Box Truck Talk fans, if you're looking at your screen right now, there's somebody here with a blue shirt on. That's you, Cade. Pro disc golfer Cade Kohlmeier. Welcome in, man. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Always, always. Uh, Scoochie Dean here with D Money. Dally, how we doing?
Doing good, doing good.
So, Cade, as you can see, is our guest in studio today. First ever guest that we have had on the podcast that does not live here in El Dorado. Like I said, pro disc golfer. Cade, first things first, take us to about how you started getting into playing disc golf.
So as you know, John Miller,
Yep.
me and him, when COVID kind of canceled our senior year of baseball and all that, not a whole lot to do. Both of me and him worked at Sutherland's, and then I think him and Bo and maybe even Jace would play every now and then. And then John and Beatty actually kind of told me about it. We went out a couple times. I was pretty bad. And I was like, this sucks. Like, I never want to play this again. Like, I don't know. I didn't like it. And then Bo, you know how Bo is. He would like, oh, you suck. Like, whatever. You can never beat me. Like, you never beat me.
Never. So you will never beat me, dude.
That kind of fueled the fire a little bit. And I really only wanted to play because my goal was to beat Bo at least one time.
So Bo is really the reason why you're a pro.
Bo and John, because John if John wouldn't have been there, I probably wouldn't have kept going out. But with it being me, Bo, and John, I think me, Bo, and John probably played 36 holes of disc golf every single day for about 90 days in a row.
Hey, folks. Pro disc golfer here, and he's paying homage to the boys back home. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome stuff there. You said you were there at you got your college start. You were actually a pitcher at a junior college here in Kansas, right? Tell us a little bit about that at Barton.
Yep. So out of high school, didn't get to play my senior year of baseball. They kind of recruited me from the summer after my junior year of high school. And then I actually had a offer from here, Butler, and then also Barton. So making the decision between those two, really it came down to Barton was honestly just a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. Not having a football team helped, even though I love football, played football in high school. It was just less people there. Like, I don't know, you know how it is. Some sports kind of collide with each other.
Oh, for sure.
Basketball,
More
football.
fun to go to baseball too, I would imagine.
Yeah. So, we had a nice field on campus, and Barton's campus is kind of unique because it's like out in the country, but like everything is like right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very awesome campus. They actually had a disc golf course on campus that I believe I still hold the course record on. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, at Barton, redshirted my freshman year. That kind of sucked because I kind of went in hoping that I could get maybe a relief pitcher, get a few innings. But as the season went on, you could kind of see the writing on the wall that I probably wasn't going to throw a whole lot. We had a lot of guys that were really good. And coming out of high school, I mean, my whole pitching was just throw hard. And in high school, it worked most of the time. Definitely got lit up a few times. But, going to Barton was really where I learned how to pitch, developed changeup, which ended up being my best pitch, and also a curveball and a slider. So I honestly don't think I gained a whole lot of velo. I think my sophomore year I was sitting 84, 86, maybe ran it up to the upper 80s a couple times, but really just learned how to pitch. Sophomore year, I think I threw about 30 innings, had a pretty good ERA, I think somewhere in the 3 range. So, I was happy with it. After that though, I played a lot of disc golf, and I was just standing for 3 hours during VP kind of sucks. And on this beautiful day, I'd really love to be playing disc golf. And so, after that, it was pretty much could walk on to a D2, or I had some offers to an NAIA, and neither of those appealed to me. So I was happy with how my season went, happy to call it a career, and I don't regret it at all. So.
Which that's good, because sometimes that's really just how it is.
Yeah.
Especially JUCO. I mean, we see it a lot where guys get to the end of the road and they don't have anything they want, but then you're allowed to find a passion or something else. So, I mean, that's good that, not to say you fell out of love with baseball in any way, but you knew that was coming to an end, so you fell in love with something else.
Yeah. And I think it helped me a lot that I had already fallen in love with it before, because I turned pro before I was done playing college baseball, which was pretty cool. So you kind of had that in your back pocket. Not that I hope one day I can make a living off of it, but that is not the current plan.
Yeah.
So, but it's something that during the summer, it's it keeps you competitive.
Oh, for sure.
The amount of friends I've made, people I know, you walk into a disc golf tournament and you get your card assigned, and 9 times out of 10, I probably know at least 3 of the 4 on my card. So it's pretty cool, building new friendships, new competitiveness. You know who you like, who's annoying. So all that.
So you can call me naive, but I know in like PGA, you have to have like your tour card. What considers you as a pro in disc golf?
So I'm sure the PGA also, like I know of the Ferry Tour, which is kind of the step down from
Corn
the
Ferry
PGA.
Tour,
Yeah. But disc golf is unique because it is such a new sport to where the tour card didn't exist until 2 years ago, and you can still play on tour without a tour card. And how the ratings work, neither of you probably know much about ratings, but I'll kind of explain it. So 1,000 rated player is considered to be like a scratch golfer.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So if you're 1,000 rated, you're very good. I think the highest rated player in the world is around like 1,048.
Mhm.
So, but to get your tour card, you have to be in the top 100 of the world rankings from the previous year and be above 1,015 rated. And that's how you get your tour card. And to do that, because the only high ratings out there are on tour, you kind of have to get above 1,000 so that you can enter into these tournaments.
Mhm.
You can actually be 935, but to actually like have a chance to actually get into the tournament, because so many people want to sign up for them, you at least 970, if not 1,000. So that's kind of how that works.
Now what is the you talk about the like this kind of sliding scale? What judges, whether you're 935 or you're 970 or you're 10 15, whatever it may be?
Yep. So ratings in a disc golf tournament, everybody's a propagator. So what that means is that, so for example, I'm 952 rated. If I show up to a disc golf tournament and I'm the only one there, whatever I shoot is 952 rated.
Oh, okay.
So, but
So you're kind of like the standard.
Yeah, but everybody else that's there, their rating. So like whatever you shoot, like say someone else is 940 rated, whatever they shoot's 940, and then all of those are averaged to make ratings for everybody.
Oh, that's kind of
Yeah,
interesting way to score it. That's kind of cool.
So, but that's not like really your score. You're still playing like like all that. So,
Sure.
But yeah.
Now, again, call me naive. Do people have caddies?
Yes. On the Disc Golf Pro Tour, I would say most people have caddies. On like the other tournaments like A, C, and B tiers, A, B, C tiers. A tier is like like your step under the Pro Tour. B tier is just kind of like a big local tournament, and then a C tier is just like you can drive 30 minutes and go play like a pro tournament, but the players there are just going to be your local pros.
Right.
And so on those, really the only caddies are like if you have a friend or like your dad or your brother wants to come caddy for you.
Have you ever caddied before?
I have caddied. So we actually went to nationals this past week. We just got back on Monday, and how the singles round worked, like half of them played. I believe it was one day, and then the other half for the singles round played the next day, but you also had 3 team rounds. And so my friend Alexis Chaparro, his tee time was the day before mine. So I caddied for him during his round, and then he caddied for me the next day.
Nice.
So you just said nationals, and that's for Emporia State.
Yes. So
kind of walk us through like getting on the team, being a part of the team, like your coach, because all this is really cool stuff, and these viewers back home should know.
So this year was actually the first year for Emporia State University to have a competitive disc golf team, and we kind of put together, our team was myself, Alexis Chaparro, also from Emporia, Justin Farrell, who's from Ottawa, and then Grant Yoder from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And so we had tryouts, and me, Justin, and Alexis, I think our coach, Eric McCabe, who was the 2010 disc golf world champion.
Oh, wow.
And so
does he live in Emporia? Yep. Like he's from Emporia?
Yep. He grew up, he's lived in Emporia his whole life. So he's our coach. He knew me, Alexis, and Justin pretty well. I think he had a pretty good idea that us 3 would be 3 on D1, but for your team, you have to have 4. And so we had tryouts, and Grant played really well at tryouts, and then he played really well all season long. And he ended up, I think, taking top 30 at nationals out of I want to say it was around 400 players. So
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, ESU, we won every tournament leading up to nationals. I think when the preseason rankings, we were nowhere to be found just because it was our first year. No one knew anything. We won. It was in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and it was like a regional qualifier for nationals. We won that tournament by 7 strokes over Missouri, who won nationals last year.
Hell.
And so after that, we jumped because we won like a small tournament before that. So I think after that small tournament, we were like number 7 in the country. And then after the Jonesboro tournament, we went to number 1. And then we remained number 1 until the very end, right before nationals. NC State, I guess, won like 3 tournaments in a row. And then NC State jumped us to 1, and then we were number 2. So going into nationals, we were number 2. NC State was number 1. And then first round, we shot 14 under as a team. I think we were 2 shots off the lead. Second round is all 4 of your players on your team single scores averaged into one team score. So for example, our team, I shot 7 under, Grant shot 5 under, Alexis shot 3 under, and Justin shot 1 over. So our singles average was around 3.5, but they don't round up. So even if you're 3.9 average, you get bumped back down to 3.
Oh.
So our average that round was 3 under. And then I think after that round, we were 3 strokes off the lead. And then our third round, we shot the hot round 10 under at a pretty tough course. And the Disc Golf Pro Tour is actually there this week. So we'll kind of get to see how they do there. But we shot 10 under. After that round, we moved up to first place, 2-stroke lead on Missouri, who won last year, going into the final round. And then that final round, it was us at 27, Missouri at 25, and Cincinnati at 22. And we started off pretty good. I think we were 5 under going into hole 17 with a 2-stroke lead on Cincinnati, and Missouri hadn't had a very good round, so they were a few back. And then on hole 17, it's like a 450-foot par 3. Our first guy laid up to about 300 feet, which would leave us about 150 to 200, kind of depending on the angle you had. And then our second guy went for it, was out of bounds. So we played from our first guy's layup. I went first. My approach shot went out of bounds left, and then Alexis went out of bounds right. And then the other 2 guys, because how it works is you're playing partners, but also best shot doubles. And then our 2 guys had a putt from about 25 feet to take a bogey. And if they would have made that, we would have taken a 1-stroke lead into hole 18. Neither of them made the putt. And then hole 18 is like the hardest hole in the course. You're teeing off from out of bounds, about 300-foot water carry into this tight fairway. And then you have to go about another 600 feet. And then there's an island green across the river to the right. So it's about an 850-foot par 4. And so Cincinnati had just tapped out for par. So it's an amazing par. We parred the first day. We played that hole very well the first day. Cincinnati knew what they needed to do to have a chance. They parred it. And then we're going into that hole. I throw probably top 3 drive of the tournament for myself on that hole, put it about 400 to 450 feet, like perfect landing zone. And then our first guy looked like a great, because birdie's almost out of question on that hole just because of how hard it is. So our goal going into that hole was our first guy to be safe, and then our second guy to maybe do something crazy and get a look at birdie. So our first guy, he throws an approach, hits a tree out of bounds by that much. And then our second guy just has to throw this safe shot just to give us a chance to get par. And so he does that. Alexis goes first on our approach. And now we're about 250 feet out from the basket. Alexis's approach goes left OB by about that much again. And so then I'm up, there's about a tree this wide right in front of the basket. So I would say that tree is about 20 feet in front of the basket, but then there's about another 10 feet behind that tree that's still in bounds. And then my approach, I thought it was perfect. Coming in, smokes that tree, rolls OB. And that was the end of our nationals run. So
Oh my gosh.
You got second?
we got 2nd.
That's tough, but first year.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
How
We talked about Barton.
what is your eligibility like?
That's exactly what I was literally getting ready to ask.
Max I would play is 2 more years. I'll graduate after next year, and the only way I would play another year is if we didn't win next year, which you never know if you're going to win or not. But I at least want to get, I'll give it next year for sure. After that, I'll have a bachelor's degree. And then depending on how that goes, I'll think about getting a master's degree. But yeah, it was one of those things where it's like you're walking up to hole 17 and you feel it like right there. And it sucks to have that feeling that you're that close and then it slip away. But you got to give props to Cincinnati. It was raining that day, cold, windy. They shot 8 under. So, great round.
Yep.
No kidding. That's crazy. I didn't realize the holes were that far.
Yeah, that's insane.
860 feet or whatever.
The other part of it, which I'm not trying to make excuses because this is just kind of how it goes. Our card was the lead card. So we had the PDGA filming it, Gatekeeper Media filming it, and then some more people out there taking pictures, and probably a gallery of around 100 people the entire time.
So I mean, you had the
Wow.
you had the pressure.
And then
It's fun to say that.
Cincinnati was up there with, I want to say Kentucky, and it was just those 4 of each team, just them getting
Just
to do
them.
their thing. So
when you have something like this, do you have like an official that watches you?
So disc golf is self-regulated unless a official is there. And I believe there was an official, but they never really called anything. They're just kind of there unless there's like a dispute between like a shot and they need like someone to call it. But that really doesn't come into play a whole lot because usually it's pretty blatant, the rule.
Yeah.
Like if it's either out of bounds or it's not. You like, and there's not a whole lot of rules in disc golf. You can footfall it, you can, some stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, the rules are pretty
Like
try and cut.
for scoring though, like how do you keep your score? Like it's on your honor with your team, like
No, so both teams actually have to have one person keeping score and then after the hole. So it's on like PDGA Live. And so it's like this online thing on your phone, and then you keep score on your phone. And then that goes into like where everyone else can like view your live score. But like both players have to, like after the hole is complete, like we got a 4, you got a 3, and they'll put that into your score. And then like if there's a conflict between, it'll say like you can't proceed to the next hole until you like resolve the score. So
It's pretty cool.
So first year for disc golf at Emporia State, I can't imagine the budget was very big. So how'd you guys make it? Where was it? One of the Carolinas was
North
nationals.
Carolina, yeah.
How'd you make it out to North Carolina? And
So the great thing that I believe we're probably the only school in the country that gets to say this, but ESU made disc golf an official sanctioned sport recognized by the university.
that's awesome.
And
Yep.
most schools, it's just like a club team
Mhm.
that the school like either like maybe give them like a little bit of travel money, or like they recognize them as a team, but they're like, you guys are on your own, like whatever. But Emporia State like made us an official sport of the university. Everywhere we went, they paid for our hotel. They paid for us to fly to North Carolina.
Sick.
And so
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is
I
awesome.
think we had like a certain amount of meal budget, but we just went to Walmart, bought a whole bunch of stuff to make food and all that. So
If you guys have a women's team as well, or is it all grouped
do.
up into one?
So we have a D1 team, a D2 team, and a women's team.
Okay.
Yeah. Our women's team, they might have gotten like 16th place out of like 30 teams. Neither of them had played much disc golf before this year, so I mean, it was good for them.
Absolutely.
What's the most extravagant disc golf course you've played on?
Probably that one in North Carolina. It wasn't, we played 2 different courses because it's like one property with 3 different courses on it.
Sure.
And we played 2 different ones, but the course is literally in like the valley of the Appalachian Mountains. And
Oh, wow.
the highest peak east of the Mississippi is like on the course.
Oh, wow.
That's
So,
sick.
What town is it in?
It's not really in it. It's like in between like North Cove, Marion, and like there's this other really small town, but like
Volpe.
yeah, like to get there, we stayed in this Airbnb in the mountains. And there's like, if you wanted to go to a gas station or McDonald's or Walmart, it's like 30 minutes to.
Oh, that's.
So
Do you guys get a rental car?
yeah, we actually got 2 because Justin is 33. So
Oh,
yeah,
very nice.
he was old enough to get one as well as our coach. So
Nice.
So, me and Dallas were not having a feud, but we were talking about this picture I'm about to show you.
okay.
Our answer to this picture, we want to know: is this an action shot?
I'll pop it on here on the screen.
Or is this like not a media day?
So
thing?
hold on. My vote is it's definite action shot. He thinks you're looking right into the camera.
Okay.
My vote is media.
Media.
Yeah, knew it.
Gosh,
I was like,
dang it.
dude, he's not even no facial expression.
Here's where I was going off of. This goes back to my Photoshop. It looks really bright, and it looks like not like ad lib lights. It looks like the sun. So
It was outside.
It was,
Oh, see?
that's not an action shot.
No, it's not. But I was what I was
hear ya.
using to judge it was right. Correct.
I hear you. I was looking at his wrist and so
Yeah.
I
was like, this
never
gotta be
played
me.
disc golf, so I don't know the technique.
well, you're a Madison guy. We could check it out. It's pretty fun. I'm terrible at it.
I was
So-
gonna ask like what your guys' like experience or even like knowledge of disc golf was.
I drove through Jones Park one time They had the national tournament there. That's about as far as my experience goes.
I probably played 4 or 5 times in my life.
I know I've played with you at least one time.
Yeah.
And Branson.
I carried Bo.
Caught the bass with my hand.
Cade caught a bass with his hand. Kind of.
I've never
I'll never take that away from you.
thrown some, but I've never like played.
So being a pitcher or a previous pitcher, I'll still call you a pitcher. You have arm soreness. I would imagine. Do you have arm soreness with this? Really?
Can you throw with both left and right?
So disc golf, my main shot, I wouldn't even say my main shot. The shot that you're going to use the most, just because it's like the most controllable, is like a backhand where you're just like reaching like that and pulling it.
Yeah.
Then also like forehand where you're like out here.
Like ultimate,
Yeah.
like ultimate
And
frisbee.
so, yeah, that pitching and playing baseball definitely helped with that a lot, because that's something that a lot of people struggle with, and to be able to like actually like get some distance out of that helps for sure.
Yep. What's like the mechanics behind that when you're going
Forehand.
Yeah.
So like baseball, like obviously like you're finishing over the top and like your elbows away from your body, and then like forehand, like you want to like keep your elbow.
You want to tuck it
and like until like you, when you're bringing it like back to forward, you want your elbow to like be close to like your torso or whatever you call that. And then like as you finish, like your arm extends. But then like the weird thing is like baseball, obviously you finish like that.
Yeah.
When you throw, and then disc golf, when you release your forehand, like you want to keep your like palm up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Supinated.
Yeah, dude. You're just like working at Gambino's. Hot pot. Hot pot.
You work at Gambino's?
No, but like the whole friend group does.
Really?
Yeah.
Not me.
Dude, Gambino's in Emporia is the best. You know why?
Why?
Because it's like one of the only ones with a buffet.
No way. Only on like Mondays or Sundays now or something.
What?
Weird, right? What is? I think it's
I've
like
been to the buffet since probably high school.
I could.
Well,
call,
I haven't been to the buffet since
I
high
could call
school either,
Skylar Douglas right now and get the answer.
but- Dude, we used to go to Blue Stem, get some freaking popcorn on a Saturday, and then hop over to Gambino's for the old lunch buffet.
This is Skylar Douglas' claim to fame. If he answers me, do you think he'll answer?
It's 5:40. I bet he does.
Skylar, what's up?
What's up, Riley?
I'm recording the podcast with old Cade Kohlmeier. You are on live, sir. Hey. Yeah, dude, you're in the mic.
Our first call in.
No, Heather was.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we have a question. We were talking about Gambino's.
Me
You work
too.
at Gambino's. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Are you just hanging out?
What are you doing right now?
Are you working at Gambino's right now?
Taking your responsibilities with my girlfriend, with my lovely girlfriend.
That's awesome. Okay. Our question was, what are Gambino's hours with the buffet? Because Dallas said that's why he loves it so much. And I said, well, they changed
Oh,
the
that's why I
hours.
love the Emporia one so much.
So what are the hours of the buffet now? Dadgummit. They just change it up.
I'm out
here.
on it now.
I also can't see the name for Skylar on your phone.
Captain Headstretch is his name on my phone. You're mad about the hours too or not? You don't like the buffet day as a worker? That would be pretty cool. Well, all right, Skylar, thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you some other time.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Oh, Twins Yankees about to start.
Pop it on. Just kidding.
What do you guys think about the new baseball changes?
Fuck. We've had long discussions about this. In my opinion, you know this like I do. Played on the same team and stuff. When you got a pitcher out there and there's long innings and everything's going on, it sucks, yes, but I think sometimes it's a part of baseball, in my opinion. I feel like watching it and then there's like, oh, strike, like violation, yada, yada. I get the feel that it's not baseball how it should be, in my opinion.
From a pitcher who pitched with a pitch clock at the JUCO,
You guys had a pitch clock in JUCO?
not every game, but when we went and played, like, I don't even know what the tournament's called, like your regional or whatever,
Mhm. Yeah,
your conference tournament,
Okay.
there was a pitch clock.
You pitched in it having a pitch clock. Did you
Yes.
like it?
I thought it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was not like the only time that you're either going to cut, like, it's going to come into play is if either you like aren't agreeing with your catcher on the sign
Mhm.
or you're just taking forever. So
Well, and here's where I'll like the way they've gone around it is they used to have the catcher holding the little keypad that buzzes in the hat of the pitcher. Now the pitcher velcros it to the back of his glove, so the pitcher actually is the one who calls the play or calls the pitches a lot.
Wild.
Mhm.
Just
I like
wild.
it. I like it. Speeds everything up.
I think baseball's got to do something, or else they're just going to keep losing. It's like,
So
right now, you can't even watch the Royals unless you're like spending like 20
well,
bucks a month.
that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You gotta
Not a Royals fan, but that's bullshit.
get games. What's his name? Manfred? Rob Manfred?
Rob,
Wow.
old Robbie.
Robert.
I will say,
Rupert?
or I will say, on one of our episodes before, we talked about beer sales and how
They're extended to the eighth.
All right, that's the story.
So beer at Barton.
No, not at the college games, but
Callie does.
the summer
They.
I'm pretty sure Callie does.
the summer baseball team does. They got dollar beer night on like
Did
Tuesdays.
you play the summer? What are they called up there?
Great Bend Batcats.
Oh yeah,
So how does that work? Did they try to like make you play summer ball after your season with them, or what do they want you to do?
So after my freshman year with Barton, because obviously if you're coming back for another year, they're like, you need to be playing. Because it's pretty much like your only break is during the winter. And like during that, you're still supposed to be like, I think they wanted you to take like a month off of throwing, but like lifting, all that. But after my freshman year, they were like, where are you playing in the summer? And I told them a team, it was called like the Wichita Curve or something, Kansas Curve. I was like, I'm playing here. And I'd like told that coach I was. And then like as the season progressed, I was like, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to be in Emporia. Like I'm not going there. And so I like mentioned it to my pitching coach that I was just going to play for the Legion team in Emporia. And he was like, cool, like as long as you're getting innings. But I don't think our head coach knew until it was actually funny. Our head coach was at a tournament scouting like high school players, and like he's on this other field, and then he hears like up to bat. And obviously I was just a pitcher at Barton, like center fielder Cade Kohlmeier. And he was like, what the heck? Like, what is he doing here? So like he said
he's getting innings just in center field.
I get a text because like I went up, I think I hit like a double actually. And I like go back to my phone after the game, and then I see a text from my head coach at Barton. He was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I just got done with the game. And he was like, I see that. Like I watched you bat. And I was like,
Be in the field, dude.
and like he wasn't mad about it. He thought it was really funny. So it was,
Like, well, all my
That's
years, we've never had somebody do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's like that story that one.
but most people are going to play for a college summer team. I just really didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's like another 2 months that you're having to live somewhere else.
We had Caden on, and I mean he's like, it's like baseball. You maybe come home for like a Tuesday, and then you got to go back straight Wednesday for a morning practice, and then you charter bus it out to Oklahoma for a doubleheader.
Especially as a pitcher, I would have hated it because the summer team I was going to play for, I probably would have been a relief pitcher. So it's like you got to be at every game because you never know when you're going to throw.
Yeah.
And like at least being at the Legion team, I can talk to the coach and like, hey, like what day am I throwing? And,
Yeah. Or like,
yeah.
Or what day am I playing center field?
Yeah.
I did hit a home run when my pitching coach was there watching the opposing pitcher. So the pitcher he was scouting, I hit a home run off of him.
Didn't sign him.
And he texted me and he was like, I really like that kid until one of my EOs hit a home run off him.
That's funny.
Look, dude, ball. Cade knows ball.
That's funny.
Knows a lot about disc golf too.
You just totally off the wall. Did you play any other sports at Emporia High?
I played basketball my freshman year and then played football all 4 years.
Okay. You guys are in the same class?
Yep.
Nice.
So me and him tore up. I think our story, we both played football all 4 years, basketball 1 year, and baseball 3 years, I guess.
If we played basketball, I think we could have won a ship. Just wasn't enough for
Oh,
it.
really?
Oh,
I think it's a little bit different than Friday ball.
dude, I saw some boys
I
up
would
now.
say Riley shoot the lights out.
Homer though.
I kind of became a shooter later on, though. I remember being like 10, 12 years old, and you're just draining threes, and I'm like,
It's like, I want to be that.
Had a mullet. Just draining threes.
The mullet came later. Come on.
Oh,
and then
man.
it was like everything was shaved besides the top.
Dude, I used to have the old meatball. So it was just Papa Scooch would take like maybe like a one, shave my head. And one day I was getting ready. It was before a tournament. Rapid fire. Skylar's dad, Brian Douglas, was our coach. Emporia Rapid Fire.
so good. We were awesome. It was sick, but we were playing this tournament in McPherson, and my mom is getting ready to shave my head, and some type of joke happens, forgets to put the guard on the razor, scalps me. Just like a 3-inch line on the back of my
So you had to
head.
leave the hair to cover up the scalping.
And my dad's like, I can fix this. Throws like the half on,
Old Brit.
shaves it, and I'm like, you can kind of see it. He's like, maybe we'll just Sharpie on like a scar and say you can't grow hair there. And I'm like, what? And he's like, it's fine, it's fine. But that tournament was the best tournament I ever played in my life. Like the first game, I drained like 4 threes, but I missed like 2 layups. And the ref tells me, you're too close, man. You need to back up. And we were playing Mac Inferno. Shout out to Mason Thrash. I know some of those guys, but that was the best shooting tournament I had when my head was, I don't know, maybe it's because I shedded like a couple ounces of hair. I don't know, but
More
thanks for
aerodynamic.
that one, Mama Scooch. No guard. No
That's
guard, just
funny.
straight up scalping.
That's funny.
It wasn't at the time. I was like, Heather, seriously? She got so sorry. She got like tears in her eyes.
Jeez.
Whole pop scooch to the rescue.
Let me fix it. So back to Cade. What so you said you went pro before. Sorry, I'm totally switching gears back. I just thought of some questions. So you said you went pro before you actually came to Emporia State, right?
Mhm.
So what does the future of your pro career look like?
So this year I've played 3 pro events. Obviously, I was kind of wrapping up our ESU season, and those aren't pro events. But I've played 3 pro events so far. I've done pretty good at all 3. But this weekend I actually have one in Park City and then one in Elmdale, Kansas at Clover Cliff Ranch. So
Helmdale, home of Cecil.
yeah,
She's behind the camera. She's our producer. Just kidding.
it's not really in Elmdale, but it's like a ranch kind
Well,
of
I mean,
close.
you take 2
close
steps and
there.
you're out of Elmdale. So
Yeah, it'd be tough to have a course in
no
Yeah.
doubt.
Elmdale, however you say it.
Elmdale. Elmdale?
Hey, did you know if you're coming from Marion, it says Elmdale on the hill?
Does it? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It does.
Wow.
Sources check out.
Did you know
I've seen
that
it many.
California, there's a Hollywood sign?
Have you seen it?
No, have you?
I have.
Oh, back
Yeah.
to Cade. So,
I'll finish his question first.
Okay,
'Cause
continue.
I really only talked about like this weekend, but future of my pro career. It would be awesome to get to play on tour, but with like how good the players are getting, you got to be really good, and you also kind of have to have the funds to kind of start, because if I would just like, first of all, I'd have to be like high enough rated to even like be able to get into all the events, and then even if I was like, at that point you're kind of banking off like playing well to like have enough money to drive to the next one. So I would say that the only possibility of that happening is like a few years down the road, like if I can balance like a real job and disc golf at the same time and then make something like that happen. But like my realistic goal is just to be able to travel to like the regional tournaments and do well on top of having a normal job. So there's a lot of people that do that. A lot of people that, can show up to a pro tour event, play well, and like they're just kind of, we'll see you next year.
So we'll get to you. This feeds off of this question. You work at Dynamic Disc, right?
Mhm.
Do they work with you at all? With obviously you're professional, and I mean, do they sponsor you at all, or obviously you probably get your disc from there.
Yeah. So being an employee there, I get 40% off. They sponsored our ESU team. So being a part of the ESU team, I think I got a bag and then a handful of discs, maybe like 15 discs. But no, they do not like directly sponsor me. Not really anything I've ever like kind of tried to do, really, because the only sponsorships that really mean anything in disc golf is if like you're a tour player where they're actually paying you money. Anything else is like, hey, like we'll give you a jersey and you can get $200 of free discs, and after that everything's on you. So
Yeah.
It's kind of something to like, I want to be in a position to where like I can actually bring something to the table before I'm like, hey, sponsor me, and they're like, why? And it's just like, I don't know. So
Right.
That's
yeah,
kinda-
that's a good plan.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how they or if they worked with you at all.
yeah, a little bit, but not to. It's not like I'm whatever they're paying me or like I'm consistently getting free stuff or anything like that.
for our fans at home, break down like what your bag looks like. Like,
Oh, this is my next question.
yeah, like your bag of discs, what you're pulling out in like certain situations, like putting wise or whatever, like mid range or
Yeah.
what.
So you walk up to your average course, and most of the holes are in the 250 to 350 range. You might have some that are over 400 feet, but really, you only see those courses like every now and then. In Emporia, we're lucky enough to have a few of them. But so anything under 300 feet, I'm probably throwing a mid range or a putter. Anything between like 320 to 360, 70, 80, even maybe. Just kind of depends on the line and the shot and like what the line like requires you just to do. Probably throwing a fairway driver, and then anything over like 380 feet, I'll probably be throwing a distance driver. And in my bag, I have my 2 putting putters that I putt with, and then 4 throwing putters. I'll just say it out loud. I have my Justice, my Verdict, my Compass, and 2 MD3s, so 5 mid ranges, and then I want to say I only have 3 fairway drivers, and then I want to say I have 7 to 8 distance drivers. But my fairway drivers I have one that's like, and this is like disc golf terms, so you guys might not understand, but like overstability means like when you throw the disc, it's going to hook more left as like it flies, and then like a neutral disc will go straight, and then an understable disc, if you throw it like right hand, backhand, it'll like fade right. And so I have
Because some of them aren't like wide open. There's trees and everything in the middle,
yeah.
right? Okay. Yeah.
The better courses to play are the ones like where you're not standing here and the basket's wide open 300 feet that way.
Okay.
Like it's more fun to play where you're like,
You got to hit a shot.
I need to bend it this way and
Right.
let it come back left at the end. So like you kind of have to have discs that can do everything. And I try to build my bag around that. So
Now I know like on the PGA, you can only carry 14 clubs. Is there a number of
No.
discs you can carry?
That's like on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, I think that's something they've talked about. I would like to see it happen just because it would make you be able like have to
Be more talented with what you're given.
Like you say you only get 15 discs, one of them's obviously going to be your putter, and then like maybe even 2. Most people carry 2 putters, but like after that, it's like this disc might not be the perfect thing, so I'm gonna have to put it in a little different angle to like make a shot happen. But yeah, I would like to see it happen, but right now, no. You can have as many, but the problem with that is like at that point, you're just putting more weight on your back.
So what does one need 2 putters for?
You don't. I would just say like when I'm going out and playing around, I like just being able to like throw 2 putts at both.
Sure.
Just to kind of keep. It's like if you miss a putt, it's like
chipping from the fringe. You're like, oh, let's practice one here.
Yeah,
We drop a ball.
but like in your round, you obviously only throwing 1 putt.
Sure. Now, again, call me stupid. How far is you have your chipper and you have your putter in golf terms? Is that what you call them in this terms?
So you can like your putter's just what you putt with.
Right.
And with that, I'm like, there's circle 1, which is anything inside of 33 feet. And that range is like, you should be making that like as a professional, like you should be about 80% from circle 1. And then circle 2 is 33 feet to 66 feet. And that one's like, if you're really good, you're probably going to be about 20-30% from circle 2. But I would say your average player is probably like 15%. So it's different because like if you give yourself a bunch of like 35 footers, your percentage is obviously going to be way higher because you got closer. But like if you have 8 putts that in circle 2 and they're all 60 footers, then like your statistics is kind of skewed because.
So at what distance does one stop using the putter? I guess is where I was going with that.
Just kind of depends on like how far like you're comfortable putting. I would say most professional players probably stop around 80 to 100 feet. And then after that, you're kind of,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're either going to like stop putting it and you're actually going to like kind of do like a modified throw with it, or you're going to like use an approach disc to go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Have you ever watched on TV, Scooter?
Yeah. Not TV, but we've all been hanging out and like someone throws it up on like YouTube and you see it all and you're like, wow, that's
I actually watched it on TV one year.
You're like,
that's as far as my disc golf. No, that's why I was asking about the trees. Like,
yeah, I will say our first round at nationals, our first and last nationals was on YouTube, and our first round, I want to say, has over 40,000 views right now.
Wow.
So
That's sick.
that's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
That's more than baseball or football can say at ESU. So
Yeah,
Hey, no doubt.
that's awesome.
that's like not saying for myself or for like the disc golf team, but like, like there's a lot of like people out there that just want to watch disc golf.
Mhm.
And so like if you got 40,000 people, like, hey, like that's ESU. Oh, like if my kid's like good one day, maybe he can go be on the disc golf team at ESU. Like that's like marketing for ESU. So I feel like
Absolutely.
we should be getting, because like our first round was like 40,000 views. Our last round was like 30,000 views. So like 70,000 people like heard about Emporia State. So
That's pretty cool.
we should
Yeah.
be getting some
Now,
compensation from that.
Yeah.
I drove through Jones Park, but has it kind of upgraded to where you have to pay to get into these events now, or is it all
the events or the courses?
the events? Like, say the Nationals is next weekend in Emporia. I don't even remember what year it was that I went up there. But do you have to pay to go to the event?
Like as
or-
a fan,
like as a fan? Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
Depends on the event. If it's anything less than Disc Golf Pro Tour, no, it's just like show up and spectate. But Disc Golf Pro Tour, yes. I want to say to go watch around is like $20 or something like that. Just kind of depends on like
stay hanging.
if it's
No, are they all day events? Like, do you have at 6 and like the last golfers coming in at 6 at night?
I would say most of the time it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and like the last guy's probably coming around 5. But
Okay.
like, most people aren't going to go out and watch the first card because those are the guys that are in like
Sure,
last place. But yeah, most people when they go, like either they have a favorite player and they're like, I want to go watch him play, or they're like, just going to watch like the lead card because those are the guys in the lead, and like that's where everybody's at. So yeah, and also like it also depends on the spectators. Like, is the course open to where like you can have spectators lining the fairway, or is it like in the woods where it's like you can't have spectators
see
there?
it. No doubt.
So just depends.
You said that you've got like your circles for putting and then stuff like that, and you talk about like how the distance for these holes. Do you have like a range finder to help you out?
I do have a rangefinder.
Really?
Is that all in that app that you're talking about, or no?
It's like a Bushnell, like actually one
Oh,
that
wow.
you pull up to your eye. So
Nice.
Sick.
and it's in feet, so instead of yards, which makes it nice.
That's
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would say most competitive players have one.
And
And
then-
definitely you definitely need one.
yeah.
At your time being a pro disc golfer and all these tournaments or whatnot, who would you say the coolest person that you've met or played against, played with, what have you? Who would you say that would be?
The most notable player that like people would probably have heard of would probably be Silver Lot. He is from Estonia and he's on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I actually played with him first round at Worlds last year, and his girlfriend Kristen Tatar is currently the #1 player in the world. But he's also like, he's on tour. I would say he's a top 100 player. He's really good. Coolest person that like I just enjoyed being around them, who's also very good. He's over 1,000 rated, would be John Jones from Kansas City. This guy like
The fighter.
that's what I saw. I saw he was on my card first round. And I was like, it's probably gonna like knock me out.
He's gonna
before
eat
we
me.
get- Yeah, but no, he was just a really cool dude. Unless you're a big disc golfer, you probably never heard of him. But yeah, like just would talk to you. He was super funny and also was really good. So
Oh, one last thing that I've got for sure is
I got a couple more questions too.
when you're playing, is it quiet spectators and stuff like that?
like as you're walking down the fairway, no, but like it's just kind of like an unwritten rule that like when someone's about to throw, like just be quiet.
Taking the shot, yeah, for sure.
What does training look like for this?
So right now I try to at least play around every day, and then also do like some putting, maybe even some like just go out in a field and like throw some discs and then like work on approaches. But I would say at least like 2 rounds of like, or 2 hours of just like playing around, like throwing shots, putting, throwing approaches, and then like probably spend 30 minutes before the round putting and like another 30 minutes after the round putting. And if it's like a day where I don't have school or work, then maybe I'm doing 2 rounds with like 2 hours of putting. So
Nice. Now, this is, you call it what it is, and I hope this doesn't offend you because I'm not infatuated with disc golf just because it's so new and I haven't like, but I love when the bikers come to Emporia. I see those kind of a little bit of hand in hand, but like it takes so much work to be good at both of them. Do you Are you good at anything other than like baseball? Like, do you pride yourself in doing anything other than disc golf and baseball and that kind of stuff? Or
Like since I've been done playing baseball,
I guess my question is outside of disc golf,
Like
what
what-
else do you do? Yeah.
yeah.
I was
Sorry,
like,
that was a bad way to come to that question.
I enjoy hunting. I deer hunt like
Oh, yeah.
every winter. So I shot a pinpoint buck 2 winters ago, which was my best. It was like I don't know if you know hunting much.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like 140
Yeah.
inch or however you say that. But I enjoy hunting. I enjoy fishing. And then like my friend, like John and Bo, obviously they're not the most serious disc golfers, but I enjoy just like going out and not having to like, oh, I need to get better today. But like instead just being like, oh, we're just here to have fun and like mess
Yeah.
around. So
Yeah.
I enjoy that and just hanging out with friends, family, all that. So, and also watching, I enjoy watching football,
There you go.
college basketball. Not a big fan of the NBA. I
Mm.
haven't really watched the MLB much. So
Did you used to watch the MLB?
when I was growing up, we like got all the Royals games, and I would say we probably watched like 4 games a week. But like since it's not been on TV, and honestly, the Royals just haven't been that good. I
Oh.
just like
Bad. Yep.
really haven't watched them much.
Bad. Nice.
impeccable.
I want to do a little.
Let's do some sour straw.
All right,
action.
let's talk to our friends over here at Sour Strips.
Cecil, you want in on this? Try a mango. Come on.
So
I'll feed it to you.
to the word or
Like a bird.
word to our friends at Sour Strips.
So Cade, these were just randomly sent to us.
These are our last 2 packs, Sour Strips.
randomly.
Just like by Sour Strips or by somebody else.
Sour Strips.
The company.
So
Really?
they
So we
sent them to
tried-
our head coach. I don't know what kind of marketing they were trying to do.
Well, they got our attention because we reached out, but they didn't talk to us back.
They gave us 10 packages,
Wow.
5 different flavors, 2
Free.
free. They just showed up.
So
I mean,
head coach gives them
unless he paid for them and just bullshitting us.
Here, what do you want with them? I'm like, cool. And
So the first one is mango. If you would like to,
we've had mango on the show before.
yeah. So we've taste tested all of them on the show.
Oh, the rule, you gotta eat the whole strip. Just go for it.
No promises on this one.
Really get ASMR to the mic too.
Oh, that's nice. Initial thoughts?
I get the sour and mango right off the bat.
Are you a fan?
You fan of the mango?
I am a fan.
We thought that's by
Oh.
far the most sour strip, but that is not the best. There was a
So-
strawberry and a blue raz. And let me tell you, strawberry.
I was wrong, folks. There was only 4. We only got 8 packs. There's only 4
Okay,
because
We
I
got-
didn't do research, but this is,
2 of each flavor.
yes, we got
Okay.
8 packs. So 2 of each flavor. This is every flavor
It is.
into one strip.
That's kinda
so
great.
I like this one way better. My favorite's strawberry. Second is blue raspberry.
Rate that out of 10. What would you think?
Yeah, what
The
you,
mango,
Yeah.
it's pretty sour, but I obviously know that's like the point of it. So
But I will say that
I would give the mango like
they knocked the mango flavor out of the park. Honestly,
they did.
It's good
I
mango.
would give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not a big mango guy, so that's where I was with it. This right here is probably it's like a Doler sour in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Fresh pack. I think I might get myself one.
Yeah. Let's all get in
Pass
on
it
this.
around, off the top again.
Definitely not a sour.
No, nowhere near as sour. It's like the mango one. They're like, let's just make this one really sour. It's by far the sourest.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
I would say I still like the mango one more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd give that one a 7.8.
Well, there you go.
So we're gonna go off the beaten path here.
Off-
We haven't done this in a day or two,
Off the
couple
grid.
weeks. We have this segment we like to call buttered popcorn.
Ooh, this is a good one.
And I kind of came up with this because we were looking at getting sponsorships. And I was like, dude, we should do shows we've been watching, but what the hell are we going to call it? So I was like,
Buttered.
we could get the movie theater to be a sponsorship. I was like, that's it. We got to
Buttered.
call it buttered popcorn. So what it is we just kind of talk about a show that we've been watching or a movie that you've watched in the past,
Recently.
yeah.
What do you-
What sticks out to you? What a show or movie you got?
The show that I've probably watched 3 times from start to finish is Breaking Bad.
Oh,
I don't know. Have you both watched it?
I've started it. I haven't got through it.
And then I'm gonna have to look on Netflix because there was this other one that
Night Agent.
yes. Dude, I just finished that probably 3 weeks ago, but I will say for it being like as short as it is, it like builds a fantastic story through only like 10 episodes. But
Good stuff. Is it?
it's
I haven't watched it.
it's awesome.
We started it, didn't get through it.
It's fantastic.
What do you got, Dally?
Mine, not really anything on Netflix. We've been watching Survivor. Yeah, it's a.
I'm not 8. I just wasn't expecting Survivor to come.
I know you weren't. We're at the merge though, so yeah.
Ooh.
I've never watched Survivor, so I'm a big. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Big Brother.
A lot.
Cade.
Have you ever?
Cade.
Cade,
Scooter.
Cade, the tribe is spoken.
Cade, the tribe is spoken.
He's like, get the hell.
It's just a mic. It's like,
So my game show of choosing is Big Brother,
Mhm.
and it's in the summertime. And Courtney was like, "Well, hey, this is kind of like nature's version of Big Brother." And it is, but it's way different.
just got into Survivor now. I watched Survivor when I was in like second grade.
Never watched it. No, it's really good.
I don't think I've ever watched a season start to finish, but my girlfriend watches it, and like it just so happens like that every time I watch it, it's like down to like the last like 10 to 15 people.
So, and I'll tell you what got me into it was, me and Courtney started watching.
Fear Factor.
No, the Ultimate Competitor.
Ultimate Fighter Champion.
No, where the 4 game shows come together and it's one big game show. You know what I'm talking about?
Minute to Win It.
Anyway,
I love
I don't remember what the name of it is. I have to ask Courtney. You want to call her in?
We can.
We're calling her in.
You do that. We'll talk about my show.
She's literally in the next room.
She has to come on camera if she comes in the room.
I'm calling her.
Yeah, but when
Third.
if she's really right next to you, she'll walk in the room.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what's that show with all 4 game shows like Survivor, Big Brother, Love Island? What's the name of that show? The Ultimate Challenge? Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right, thanks.
If she said Minute to Win It, I would have lost it.
We're almost done. Love you, bye. Ultimate Challenge. But it's where they bring them all together. And that's what got me going on Survivor because I was like, I've never watched it. But yeah, that's what we're watching. We're at the merge. So
Mine is Mayor of Kingstown. It's on Plus. Seen it or talked about
I
it?
started it. I didn't get into it because I don't even remember the last season of not the last season, but I was
Outer
watching.
Banks.
No.
Oh.
Outer Banks is good though.
Yeah, great show. What's the show that they first started with?
With what?
What Yellowstone.
Okay.
So it's the same creators, same writers.
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah. The last season just came out about the same time Mayor of Kingstown came out. So I was watching that. I couldn't get into it.
Mayor of Kingstown is about Kingstown, Michigan. Well, I don't know if that's a true place or the concept of what it is, but it's a prison town. So prison is really based on the prison.
It's true, right? I think it's on a false town, but I think it's a true story.
2 brothers keep the peace between like the guards and the inmates. So like this guy like goes back and forth to like the head of this gang. What do you guys want inside? Keep the peace. The guards are like, no, we won't allow that. We will allow this. That guy on the outside makes it happen. And he does that for like all the gangs that are inside the prison, just kind of like keeping everybody sane and keeping everything running smoothly.
Crazy that guy can do all that and be the head coach on Friday Night Lights. It's the same guy.
If you know, folks, hold on. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Have you started it?
Mayor of Kingstown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but how far are you in?
I don't know, like 3 episodes.
Then you know.
Maybe I'm not that far. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Do you want me to tell you or not?
Yeah, I'm never gonna watch it.
Well, he dies first episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gets shot.
Then I'm not farther than that.
like he's like getting into a safe, and like some guy that like he is one of the guys that keeps the peace. Then that happens, and he dies, and then his brother takes it over. Like he doesn't want to, but people are like, I still need your help. Like my son needs your help, and then he's like, fine, I have to do it to help these people out. So
Nice.
I was like,
I don't know then.
I was like, where are you going with that? But
Another show that I'm sure both of you have watched, Last Chance U.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously that relates to like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
How real do you think it is? Because obviously Butler's not whatever school that was.
Butler's not Independence. There you have correlations, but it's completely different. Like we tell you, like this is your best chance U, not your last chance U. There's a lot of stigma, and there's a stipulation where or like people get it in their mind that like, oh, if you go JUCO, you're dumb, or like you're somebody that gets in trouble. No.
Which probably haven't had like a chance yet.
Yeah, a lot of our guys are guys that are just under recruited.
Yeah.
Or
I know
like
that's how baseball was. For
yeah,
sure.
like a bounce back guy. You know what I mean? That like they have the ability, and like we want them, and like they're good kids. Like
For baseball, I know it was like, say like you weren't getting what you wanted at like Division I. It was almost like I'm going to go here for a year, and then it's like almost just like a stepping stone to
trampoline yourself. You know what I mean? What would you say?
Well, I think the biggest thing, like people call it last chance U. It's all about the environment that you bring them in once you get here.
Mhm.
Like I don't care where somebody comes from, if they're in the environment that is of Independence during the show, like you're going to feed off your environment. But if that environment, you're also going to feed off of a good environment. So like if you bring them into an environment that's stable and has structure and all that kind of stuff, they're going to feed in a positive way rather than you bring him into. And I'll tell you firsthand, I've talked to JB. I like he tried to hire me as a freaking volunteer guy when I was leaving KU. That is JB to an extent. Like what he is on the show is exactly who he is.
Clear and cut.
Because like
that's him.
If I can impersonate his voice, I'd read his text message right now and sound just like he talked on the show. I don't know. It's totally different though. I will say that.
That's kind of what I figured, because obviously Netflix is going to want to make it as like
I think they did. I think they did to an extent, but I also think that like it was really a shit show.
Yeah, it makes good to watch on TV though.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You got anything else for Cade?
No, you want to close us out?
Sure. Folks, thanks for stopping in. We're talking on the box, the truck that is. Cade, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I really appreciate you, Cade.
We had a blast. You'll forever be the first ever in studio guest, pretty much here. So
we'll have to get you checked back in here sometime maybe after the summer when you're
for sure
on into your schedule.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Follow, like, subscribe, share. That's really all we got, folks. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Later.